Combine week, top of Combine week. What was the first Combine you ever attended, Mike? Was it your own? Did you ever go to the Combine as a player back in the day?
No, they didn't have a Combine when I played. That's how old I am. The first one I went to was just me and Paul Burmeister in the old RCA Dome, and they only sent the two of us.
Right.
And Worm. I think Worm was there.
Worm.
And
Yes.
The Worm. And you were like in just like folding chairs, right? On the 50-yard line, just calling it, on the network.
And the thing I remember was the first day's O-line day, and we were standing right down there by the 50 and kind of leaning over, and there was an offensive line drill going on with coaches.
Yeah.
And Paul had me go through my top 5 guys, and I got to the 5th guy, and I said, there's not enough sand in the pants, and, I think he's probably more of a 3rd or 4th round guy. And you hear very clearly on air, "Hey, Mayock, F you." Kid heard me and didn't like it. That was the first Combine.
Oh, my God. The evaluator getting evaluated in a very blue way on the spot.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, and then you and Paul kicked things off, and then I would show up eventually for NFL Total Access, and then you and I would spend all those hours together in the booth of the old RCA Dome, and then Lucas Oil as well. And so I guess the most important part of the week, right, is the medical still, even to this day, would you say, Mike, or the interviews at night, or what would you say is?
I would say the medical is still critical. You can look at the medical, really, everybody has a feel for what guys got hurt. Like there are 2 or 3 high-level corners this year. The kid from Notre Dame, Ben Morrison, the Ravel kid from Carolina, who's really intriguing. He tore his ACL in practice in September. Will Johnson from Michigan. All 3 of those guys are potential first-round picks with major medical concerns from injuries this past year. So even though they might not be working out, for GMs and coaches, those are big deals. And, we talk about the interviews at night. They're important also, but they kind of set the table for how you want to do your 30 interviews later. And I think the clear one misconception up, Rich, is a lot of people in the media call it a top 30 interview. Like it's your top 30. You only get what the 30 interview is every team in the league gets 32 interviews in their facility between the end of the Combine and the beginning of the draft. And it can last all day. You can't work them out, but they can spend the whole day in your building. And the way a lot of teams do it, which I think is fascinating, is you might get 4, 5, 6 of your top level guys in there you still have questions about. You may get another group of guys filtered throughout the draft, but you're a little worried about the mental, and you want to put them with your offensive line coach and have that guy cram 2 hours of information down his throat, give him some lunch, and bring him back in and see if he can regurgitate it. Not the lunch, but the information. Yes. So then there's the on-field, the underwear Olympics, which is what captures everybody's attention. But there's so much more going on than just that. And it really is about information gathering.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.